Hello student, today we will be studying about reproduction in plants which is from class 5th. So let's start. First of all, we will learn about what is reproduction. According to this book, reproduction is the process by which a living organism is able to produce more of its own kind, which results in continuity of life on this planet Earth. Now, plants reproduce mainly in two ways. One is reproduction by seeds, and another is reproduction by parts of its body parts. For example, some plants may reproduce through stems, leaves, or roots. Now, we will learn about reproduction from seeds, or how plants reproduce through its seeds. Let's learn that. As we know, seeds is the beginning of a new plant, and all seeds are different from each other, but all seeds also have three things in common, that is the seed coat, the endosperm, and the embryo. Now, what is a seed coat? Seed coat is an outer covering of the seeds which protects the embryo. The seed coat also has a tiny hole through which water can get inside the seed. And now, what is endosperm? Endosperm is placed right underneath the seed coat. And what for? Endosperm provides the nutrients to the embryo or the baby plant, and these nutrients allow the seed to remain alive while it waits to germinate. So basically, endosperm is a packet of nutrients which surrounds around the embryo and helps it to grow when it germinates. Now, what is embryo? Embryo or baby plant is very small plant which slowly or gradually turns into young plant when it gets the right condition for growth. Now let's go to the next page. Now, as you have noticed, most seeds have two bean-shaped structures, also known as seed leaves or cotyledons, and they store food for the growing embryo till it puts out new leaves. Now, just look at the structure of seeds, the diagram here. Seed coat is the outer covering. Cotyledons are the food of the seed which helps the new baby plant to grow. So this area is called cotyledons. And this is radicle. Radicle is the small root which goes down to the earth and forms the root system of the plant. And this is a lumen which grows towards up of the ground, and this forms the shoot system of the plant. Now let's learn about the germination of seeds, or how the seeds germinates. Germination of seeds is the process by which a seed produces a baby plant or seedling in the presence of right conditions such as water, air, and sunlight. And during the process of germination, the seeds absorb water from the tiny holes which is present inside the seed coat, and cells of the embryo starts dividing. This results in the growth of baby plant inside the seed. A small root called radicle, which I have told you that this is the radicle here, this part. Now what part of work is of radicle is that this part radicle starts growing towards the earth and forms plant's root system later, like this. And next, this plant, which is called the plumule, tough to speak, or baby shoot. This part grows above the ground and forms the shoot system of the plant. And what is shoot system? This plant will grow into different branches and later leaves on it. Now this become a tree. Above the ground, shoot system, and below the ground, root system. So this is the germination part of the seeds. Now we will study about the dispersion of seeds. Now dispersion of seeds or scattering of seed is an important, because if all the seeds will fall under the parent tree, then there will be huge competition for air, water and nutrients. So dispersal of seeds is important. Now first see the definition. The process of which seeds are scattered away from the parent plants is called dispersion of seeds. This gives the plant higher chances to survive from diseases and struggles and predators. It also allows plants to reach new areas in the planet. Next we will learn about the agents of seed dispersal, which means what things helps a seed to scatter away from the parent plants. So let's learn that. As you can see, dispersal of seeds can be done by 4 types of different agents, which are wind, water, animal and by explosion. So first let's learn about dispersal by winds. In this, some seeds such as those of cotton, madar and dandelion have hairs around the seed which helps them to float in the air. The wind or the air carries away those seeds from one place to another. Now dispersal by water. Seeds of some plants, especially of lotus and coconut, have spongy seeds, or the seeds which have filled some air in it, which helps them to float on water. So example, let's take lotus and coconut. Their seeds float on water, and when the water flows or the air flows, these seeds are carried from one place to another. Now next is dispersal by animals. Some seeds of plants such as xanthium have hooks or spikes that stick to the skins of animals, and with these animals they go from one place to another. Seeds of some plants like guava, cherry are passed out undigested in the droppings of birds, animals, and human beings. And few plants such as mango, humans eat outer flesh of the seed and throw the seeds away, and later these seeds grow into new plants. Now next is dispersion by explosion. Seeds of some plants such as poppy, pea, and asparagus bean explodes or burst open when they are ripe, scattering the seeds far away from the parent plants. In this way, these plants spread their seeds to distant place. So till now we have studied about reproduction through seeds. Now next part we are going to learn how the reproduction takes through the body parts. So producing new plants from plant parts other than seeds is known as vegetative propagation. In this, any vegetative part of the plant body like leaf, stem or root develops into a completely new baby plant. So what are the parts of the plant? These are leaves, stems or root, which helps to reproduce a completely new baby plant. So now let's learn about stem first. Now plants which reproduce through stems, let's take few examples such as potato, ginger, money plant, rose and sugarcane, etc. are the plants which can reproduce through the stem. Now let's go to the next page. As you can see in the top of the page, rose plant, we just have to cut the stem of that plant and place it in the new pot and it will grow into a new plant. Now second part which helps in reproduction is root, and plants which reproduce through roots are carrot, radish and sweet potato. Roots of these plants grow to develop into shoots when kept in water for some time. Now next is leaves. How a plant can reproduce through leaves? Let's see that. The plant which propagate through this method or by using leaves is bryophyllum. As you can see in the figure, there are tiny small plants, new baby plants on the margin of the leaves. So this way this plant reproduce through their leaves. Now plants like fungi and ferns grow from tiny structure called spores. Plants are also propagated artificially by grafting in mango, layering in jasmine, cutting in rose and sugarcane, and we will learn about these method in the higher classes. So let's move forward. Now in this section we are going to learn about agriculture and how to grow crops. So first let's see what is crops. Plants that grow in large quantities in a particular area or region in a particular season are called crops. And growing crops in large quantities for food or for other purpose such as selling is called as agriculture. The clear definition of agriculture is right here. The practice of growing large quantities of plants for food and other purposes is called agriculture. Now let's see in the next page kinds of crops. Crops can be mainly of three types. First, food crops, second, fiber crops, and third, oil producing crops. And their types define their work. For example, food crops is used for food, fiber crop is used for fibers which can later can be helpful to make ropes or things like bags or clothes, etc. And oil producing crops, the crops which are helpful in producing oils. Now let's see about what are rabi crops and what are kharif crops. So the crops that are grown in winter season, that is from November month to April, are known as rabi crops. Few examples of those are wheat, cabbage, cauliflower, and grams are the some examples of rabi crops. And kharif crops, the crops that are grown in the summer season from June to October month are known as kharif crops. The few examples of it are rice, maize, jowar, brinjal, bajra, etc. Now let's see the steps to get good and healthy crops. Here are few steps written which helps a farmer to grow a healthy and good crops. Let's go one by one. First step is plugging, which is digging up the soil to prepare it for growing crops. It is done with the help of a plug which is pulled by animals or by machines such as tractors. Then the weeds are removed with the help of a rake. Now what is weed? Weeds are the parts of the plant, leftover of the plant which was of the previous season crops. And now what is rake? Let me show you some pictures of the rake. This is called rake, a metallic or wooden stick with metallic teeth in the front. Now the soil is broken down into lumps and smoother with the help of harrow. Now if you don't know what is harrow, let me show you pictures of that too. This is called a harrow, which you have seen in the back of a tractor. Okay, now let's move ahead. Now once the soil is ready, different crops are grown with the help of healthy and ripe seeds of the best variety. Now crops grow well if they get the right amount of water at the right time. Watering can be done in several ways. Now next point is soil is made more fertile by adding manure and fertilizers to it. Manure is obtained from the animal or plant waste. And later, protecting the growing crops from the diseases and harmful insects is done by spraying the insecticides and pesticides. And it is also very important to store the harvested crops properly. Now in the next page you will see this stages of agriculture from start to the end. So now let's go to the next page. In first stage, plugging of the field. Second stage, adding manure. Third stage, sowing of seeds. Fourth, irrigating the field. Fifth, spraying the pesticides and insecticides. And sixth, last, harvesting the crops. So the lesson is complete. If you got any doubt, you can restart the video and learn again. Thank you very much. And for exercises and question answer, there will be a next video, so please stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Thank you.